Playground on the Sister Claire Muhammad School. During Ramadan, we would be out there playing basketball and just playing and enjoying ourselves. And some of the kids in the neighborhood would come and play with us. And they'd be shocked because they wanted to stop and take a water break. And say, they say, ain't y'all gonna drink some water? It's hot. We said, nah, we fasting. They'd be like, what? Man, it's 100 degrees, y'all fasting? They were just amazed at that. And we'd be playing all day. And so the sisters used to tease us because we'd be stinking. They say, you can't come in here and pray, you stink. But we'd be in there praying and stinking and going back out and play basketball. But alhamdulillah. So we're going to continue with our program. At this point, we would like to call to the stage the mother of our guest speaker, Sister Irene Salahuddin, and she's going to introduce her son.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm indeed grateful and thankful for being here tonight. He's surprised. He didn't know I was going to introduce him. But I figured, I don't know who knew him any better than I do. And surely I will tell the truth. So again, I'm honored to have the opportunity to introduce the keynote speaker for today. I'm going to ask you to Google, you know, everybody Googles. I'm trying to get into it too, his full bio so that you can get an even deeper history of his life and his works. I'm going to give you just a short personal history. I'm sure he'll be happy. Hopefully he will. But it will be personal. In 1969, his father and I joined the Nation of Islam. We were both in college at the time, trying to achieve the American dream, you know, the 2 cars, house, no dog, no. And we had 3 little beautiful girls. And so, you know, we were set. We were on our way. And after we joined the Nation of Islam, we said, oh, we need a son. We have to have a son. So in 1971, Nashid was the firstborn son. We have 7 children, 4 girls and 3 boys. And I always tell my husband, with 3 sons, I should have anything my little heart desired. I said, you know what kings would do for 1 son? And I gave you 3. So we were so excited when he came along. His father at the time was working very hard in the Nation of Islam, and some of you brothers can bear witness that it was hard work, you know, more than 2 8-hour jobs. And now his father, he was rarely home. Get up early in the morning, go to the temple, come home late at night. So that was how we lived for quite a few years. He was squad leader right away, and then he moved to lieutenant, and then to minister, and sometime doing all 3 jobs and secretary. And a 300 plus man, all at the same time, and having a job, working to take care of his family. That's his father. So he didn't have much time to spend at home with Nashid. When Nashid was about 2 years old, that's Nashid Ibn, Nashid decided he would spend some time with him bonding. So he would take him to the park. That's what he said he would do. But just the 2 of them, so that, because, you know, just women, it was all the girls, you know. So he would take him, he was going to take him to the park. And so maybe a minute or 2 later, they could return home with Nashid screaming. And I said, well, what's the matter? He said, this boy don't know who I am. But then again, around 4 or 5 years old, I guess he started observing and paying attention, because Nashid would take us to the temple. And so we saw him getting behind whatever looked like a rostrum, and I mean teaching. He was fired because his dad was fired. As a matter of fact, I haven't been able to calm him down yet, you know. So we said, oh wow, we have a leader. He's going to be a leader. And of course, you know, we're thinking of ministering and building a nation, and some of you know how that. Yes. By the time he was about 10 years old, of course, Imam Mohammed had introduced us or changed our thinking about the flag and our position here in America. And so we had a march, an educational march, and Nashid was the leader in carrying the American flag for this educational march in the New Orleans area. And it was covered in Muslim Journal. I was supposed to look it up and have it sent to the committee so that they could see that. He was about 10 years old. And so we very proud of that. He went on and finished high school and then went to 1 year at Southern University in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and then joined the Air Force. And so we were very happy about that, because we knew he had these leadership skills, and the Air Force would give him the discipline he needed to grow to his full potential. While in the Air Force, he spent a tour in Saudi Arabia, making Umrah, and later returning to make Hajj. So of course, you know, we was happy, you know, to have him do that. And also, he received his Bachelor of Science from Southern Illinois University in Carbondale, Illinois. So Illinois is very important in our family history too. After active duty, he returned to New Orleans and taught school at L.W. Higgins High School, where he graduated from. And he was also co-chair of the Boys to Men Mentoring Program. So again, we're looking at these leadership skills. He married his beautiful wife, Hasna, and he is the father of Rayanne, who's with us tonight. And what's so beautiful about visiting their home, his son leads us in Salat. Now that's third generation. Oh my God, you know how I feel, and I'm a little emotional, you know, so that is a great thing. As a reserve, he continued to grow in ranks, and when he called to say that he was going to be doing a tour at the Pentagon, oh my goodness, my heart, my eyes, everything, I mean, you know, it was just so, it's the Pentagon. I mean, to me, you know, I hadn't even visited. So he said, Mom, I want y'all to come and we're gonna do a personal tour. So he took us on a personal tour of the Pentagon and the White House at the time, and then we got to spend some time with Imam Sharif. Did I get that right? Because, you know, Tyler. I'm looking at him, so he knows who I'm talking about. Then he called and said he was being promoted to colonel. I said, oh, that is great. I said, that is outstanding, but I thought lieutenant colonel sound better. You know, you're a lieutenant colonel? I didn't know very much about the rank, so he said, no, Mama, colonel is higher. So I had to send out the announcements, you know, to the family and friends. I said, well, I better make sure I'm spelling it correct. As I say, I have 7 children. They're always correcting me. Yeah, but that's great, because I remember Imam Salahuddin out of Albany, Georgia, said, you know you've done a good job when your children correct you. So I'm happy with that. So I sent out the announcement and I looked up the definition first. And it said great things about a leader and great responsibility. But what really touched me when it said a rank just below a brigadier general. I say, wow, that sounds great. And then when we visited the Pentagon this time and we were walking with him and I don't even know how to salute, but I remember saluting I was in MGT, so. And we were watching and all these men and women, they just saluted him. Now she said, well, I started to get in the way and let him salute me too, So that, it has just been a most exciting journey to watch his growth. And this community is his womb. This is he was born in 71. So this is the community that nurtured him. As I may have skipped, but he did go to Sister Clara Muhammad School for a few years. And one of the other things that I'm most proud of is that Nashid Ibn, that is, his great-grandparents were both illiterate and grew up on a plantation and lived on a plantation all their lives. His grandparents were illiterate and a little education, fourth grade the most. And so Nashid and I were the first to go to college. We from the New Orleans area, but we were born maybe 55 miles outside of that area on a plantation. Now Nashid doesn't like to admit he was born on a plantation, but I'm proud. And one day when I tell you all that story, because I see where I came from, and I'm going to rush it up. When I made Hajj and walked into the Al-Haram and just thanked Allah for having blessed me, invited me from a little plantation girl.
That's right.
Had no light in my, had never heard about Islam. To me, I saw it as miraculous. I really did. So I want to thank you all, especially thank the committee and Mosque for in giving him the honor to be the keynote speaker. And so I would like to, I did forget that he did serve a stay in Iraq. And I know most would say, I know you were very worried. I was concerned. But I do remember Imam Mohammed saying how much he loved this country. And I'm willing to die for it.
That's right.
And so I said, Allah is God. He's going and he may tell you a little bit about that. But again, I want to introduce to you all my son, because I say son first, Colonel Nashid Salahuddin.